If you're struggling to achieve wide 3D mixes with separation and depth, you need to learn this technique. This reverb technique used by Jaycen Joshua in many chart-topping hits.
This is One Time by The Game.
He even uses it on 808s. I'm Yek, and I'm going to fully demonstrate how to use the front-to-back panner technique. At the end, I'll reveal a secret technique which many people won't use. Stay with me. You want in-your-face vocals. Also, you want the drums to be up front in the mix. Also, you want the bass to sound up front and present. If you have everything in front of the mix, how could you have 3D mixes with enough depth and separation? So, in professional mixes, it's essential to manage this issue. Now, here is when the front-to-back panner comes in handy. Before we go further, it's important to review some topics. We only have 2 speakers, so we usually put the stuff to the left or to the right speaker, or somewhere in the middle. Or we can place the sounds out of the speaker with phase. But what most people won't do is to move the sound forward and back. So imagine a sound that moves behind your head. This technique was taken from Dolby Atmos, which you can now use in your mix to trick the ear. It gives you the illusion that the certain sound is placed behind your head instead of only moving left and right. Listen to the examples to figure out the difference.
And watch how more present it comes when I take this off.
Imagine if you have vocals or synth in the middle and you want to add another synth layer or background vocals. In this way, instead of placing the new layer to the sides, you can place that certain sound exactly behind the main sound. Now, while you have your important elements in the center, by pushing other elements further back in the mix, you'll get more contrast and give the illusion of a 3D mix. By the way, you can join the family by hitting the like and subscribe button. You can apply this technique using Waves Trueverb with certain settings. Trueverb lets you create a true, natural-sounding room around a sound source and control the distance, room size, and frequency characteristics. It generates the virtual space by using 2 algorithms. The first is the early reflections, which generates multiple reflections in the first 100 millisecond. The second is the reverb, with many reflections increasingly dense. By putting them together, a virtual room can be created. Basically, in this technique, we use only early reflections to get that depth. Since we don't use late reflections or any reverb tail, we can use it on anything even bass and 808s without cluttering the low end. Simply load an instance of Waves Trueverb with the displayed settings. I precisely replicated the preset, and you can download it via the link in the description. We have a few important parameters here. Room size controls the size of the room. You can set it from 55 to 2000. Note that setting it to larger amounts can sometimes ruin the sound, but feel free to adjust it to your taste. Personally, I prefer smaller amounts on elements like 808s or hi-hats. The distance parameter is the most important one. This is actually your front-to-back panner. When you slide it to the left, it brings the sound to the front. When you slide it to the right, it places the sound in the back of the mix. So you can set it anywhere you want. Use your ear to find the best spot. Tip 1. The plugin itself drops down the volume even if you recall the default settings. Since we use it on the inserts, consider adding back some volume. Tip 2. You can use any other reverb plugin that gives you control over the early reflection and late reflections, but keep in mind that we have to aim for a shorter decay amount to avoid ruining the sound. Now you know how to use the front-to-back panner, but who said that the distance parameter should be fixed? You can add more excitement and depth by automating this parameter. Simply automate it like this. Now, listen to the results. As you can see, it enhances your mixes by creating more dynamics and depth. Remember, in today's industry, the static sound which has no life sounds boring to the listeners.